Hey everybody, it's JJ. So today what I have for you is going to be a real quick kind of DIY project here at my house, installing two 55-gallon rainwater barrels for catching rainwater. And got a couple of universal parts kits to do this. I'm going to see how well that works out. I'll kind of show you some of that stuff here in just a second. 110 gallons be enough for a family of 5 for us. You know, to hold enough water that would be able to where you can make it to drink it and stuff, for about 20 days, roughly, a gallon a day. So, you know, it's just in addition to the other water supplies and stuff like that we have around here. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get right into this, and I'll show you the different parts we're going to use. Okay, so these are the two kits. These are from Earth Minded, and basically it's just a do-it-yourself rain barrel, diverter, and parts kit. It's a pretty cool process. Basically, it just has a hose that runs over from your gutter. You kind of have this little deal here that taps into your gutter, and then it runs over and it'll fill it up, and then it'll also, once your barrel is full, it'll put the rest of the water back into the gutter as well. So you don't have to worry about overflowing or anything like that. It does come with the hole saws that are needed for it, as well as a spigot. So not a bad little kit. We'll see how it goes together. This is the first time I've used these. And then I've also got an additional, this is basically just an inline filter. And you can see down in there, it basically just kind of helps to keep out any of the large nasties. Nothing really small or anything like that, but I've got a couple of those as well. So those will probably go in line right here. I've got a joint in this guttering, so we'll probably just slap those in. And then the barrel is going to sit down here, and I still have to dig that out and level it. I'm just kind of marking it right now. Once I get it all dug out and leveled, then I'll put in some paver sand here, and then we'll pack the the pavers on top of it. And you want to make sure you get a good level surface here, that way the barrel doesn't tip over or anything like that. The water's what is it, like 6 or 8 pounds per gallon, so it's pretty heavy, and with kids, with the little guys running around, you don't want them to be able to knock it over or anything like that. So I'll have one there, and then I will have another one over here. Anyhow, well, let's get started with doing this project. Okay, I got that at least fairly close to level, and now I'm going to go ahead and add some of that paver base in there, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we got the 4 pavers installed, got them pretty well leveled off, and we'll throw the barrel up on there and see how the level looks. I think we're within about 1/8 of an inch or so, so take a look at that. Alright, got it just about leveled off. Like I said, I think it's about 1/8 of an inch off, but pretty darn close for government work. One thing I would suggest, if you guys are going to do this, instead of just using the paver base, I would go ahead and spend the extra few bucks and get sand, to add a second layer of sand, and that would make your leveling a lot easier. I was having a little issues with leveling, so I would go ahead and do that if I were you. Alright, now let's move on to the next step. Okay, so got this leveled out, got the barrel put up here. Now what we're doing is we drilled a hole with the included 1 1/4 inch hole saw. Drilled that right down there, and then I took this rubber fitting and I put that in there, and then this is going to actually screw into that fitting right there, and that'll just be the drain plug. So I'll screw that in here in a second. And then what we're going to do is I want to take a 5-gallon bucket, and I want to basically put in the spigot at a height where I can fill up a 5-gallon bucket, or a watering jug or something along those lines. So that's what we're looking for on this one. So I'm just going to put that right about there. Doesn't really matter, doesn't have to be exact. Alright. That popped through there. So now we'll be able to put the spigot in here. We're just going to clean up these edges a little bit. Okay, so this is what the little rubberized fittings look like for the drain plug and the spigot. You can see that. It just kind of fits in there and actually uses kind of a friction to seal it up. So we'll see how that ends up working. And all I say you got to do is just kind of tuck it in on itself like that. And then stick that in there. Kind of round it out. Then at that point you'll be able to take and screw in the spigot. Not going to be something you want to over tighten, obviously, since it's just a rubberized fitting. Not that it would be able to get too tight. But you do want it in there kind of snug. Okay, so next step was to take the 2 1/8 inch hole saw and drill a hole into the guttering just below the top line of the barrel, and so that's what we did. Now we'll put this fitting in there.
Then tell me if there's a bug on me.
Okay, I will.
Is there?
Nope. Okay, so this fitting is actually pretty cool. What it does is it sits in the gutter like this, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it basically has a hole in the center of it to allow some water to pass, and then it has this rubber channel that channels some of the other water down into the tube to fill the barrel. And then because we're putting it about the level, the full line level of it, then when it gets full, the water can just backflow out of this and then back down this into the gutter. So we don't have to worry about having an overflow or anything like that. So this will basically just install it in here. And then I've got a couple of self-tapping sheet metal screws, and I'll put those in. Alright, so now we'll drill the top hole here.
Can I have that piece?
Sure you can, bud.
What's that? Dang, that's hot.
Is that a little bit hot?
Yeah.
Alright, it's going to clean up this edge here a little bit.
Oh! If I press down hard on it, it will be really hot.
Alright, so now we'll take this little rubber fitting here.
I'm not having
there. And then we take this hose. There. So the basic idea behind this, as I understand it, is that you've got it below the level of the top of the water, and then as the water comes in, if it gets too full, then it'll be able to run back in and back down the gutter. Okay, so here is how the installation of the filter went. Basically, as I showed you earlier, I had a joint right here in between these two pieces, and so all I had to do was just cut out the length of the filter and then just replace this section in there. And you know, I'm not really that happy with the way it looks, But since I already had a joint there, then, you know, that's fine. It is color matched and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of like, oh, what's that little box? But anyway, what it does is it allows you to pull this filter out and then to be able to check it and make sure that you're not getting a bunch of junk down into your barrel. So, you know, that's a pretty cool option. Basically, that just slides up in there, and then it sits like that. So, one of the reasons I liked these barrels, these were pickle barrels from overseas shipping containers. Now, I need to clean this up a little bit still yet, but it comes with a screen that, you know, sits down in the top of this. And I thought that was pretty cool because it could give me additional options for water collection. You know, I could just leave it open top and allow it to collect water, you know, if I moved it out into an open area or something along those lines. Put another screen on here maybe, like some window screen or something like that to kind of filter out anything. And the other thing I like about it is it has a screw lid, so I can screw this on and off. I do have a bung here, so I can kind of do an inspection to see how full it is if I want, just without taking the whole thing off. Or if I want to go ahead and put a container down in there and dip into it to get water out, I can do it that way as well. So, you know, it could even be used for, you know, sanitation, hygiene, those different kind of things, as well as just filling up buckets and stuff like that. So, you know, I thought that was a pretty cool deal. That's basically how that goes together there. And then I'll just tighten down. Okay, since it's a nice and sunny day, I went ahead and made some artificial rain, took my garden hose and stuck it up there in the gutter. Wanted to see how this was going to work. And as you can hear, got some water coming through. And looks like it's coming out just fine. So now all I got to do is clean up the barrel. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put probably about 1/8 of a cup of household bleach. I'm going to fill it with water and put about 1/8 of a cup of household bleach in there. Kind of swirl it around, scrub it around and all that, and that should disinfect it pretty well. And I think it'll be good to go after that. Then I'll drain all that stuff out into the pool and we'll be good to go. So that is pretty much all there is to it. Alright guys, well, as you can see, a DIY rain barrel kit really isn't that difficult. The barrels were about $20 each. I got them off Craigslist. The sand and pavers and everything for the two, for both of them, was like 16 bucks. And the most expensive part of the whole deal were the filters. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were. I want to say like 30 or 40 bucks. They were kind of high. And then the universal kit, I want to say, was somewhere around 20, 25 maybe, something along those lines. But really just pretty simple hand tools and, you know, cordless drill is all you need to do it. And I would say this one, probably with digging it out and everything, putting the filter in, the whole deal, probably about an hour, you know. So really not a very difficult project and not a lot of money considering what it gives you, you know, as far as having water storage capacity, you know, having the ability to keep some water on hand. Now, there are differing opinions as to whether or not rainwater from a rainwater barrel collection system like this coming off of your house is safe to drink. And coming straight from the sky, rainwater is safe to drink. However, you know, the top of your house could have bird feces and all that kind of stuff on there, and you may not want to go ahead and drink directly from the barrel without some sort of, you know, chlorination or something along those lines, purification, running it through a filter or something like that. So having a good filter option is a good idea. You guys may have seen the video I did on the clearly filtered water pump, which is actually will work excellent with this one, as I showed in that video. You could also just add bleach to it. You could boil it once you get it in the house. You know, different things like that, whatever you want. If you absolutely had to drink it without doing it, yeah, you probably could, and you're probably pretty safe. but you know, you just never know, so it's a good idea to go ahead and filter it out. But anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you watching. I definitely appreciate when you take the time to share this with your friends on social media. That helps me out a lot, and I appreciate that. And you know, when you guys subscribe and do the thumbs up and all that, that also helps as well. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on another video here shortly. I gotta get to work. I got another whole barrel to do. See ya. Alright, finally got both barrels in. You can see that one's all done too. Now we just need a big rain to come and fill them up. Thanks for watching, guys.